here we are. This is officially my first podcast ever. I have never done a podcast of any kind. I'm typically not. I would have never really said that I would associate myself with doing podcasts. I apologize. But this is basically where this is where we ended up, because I don't want to say I was recommended to do it. It was more of I told myself that maybe this is a possibility. Maybe I would enjoy doing such a thing, and maybe that's why that I'm doing this right now. Basically for everybody to see, for people of all ages, people of all areas. Sorry, I'm adjusting my lights. The lighting might be a little terrible, actually. All depending on how I actually end up doing this whole thing. So yeah, welcome to the podcast. A lot of you might know me by Johnny. My name is Jonathan Navarro, to be specific. And basically this is crazy. What you guys are probably not going to see in the podcast is that the background is actually a green screen. Maybe I might show a slight shot of it just so you guys can get a better understanding. So one of the biggest issues that I've had with doing this whole thing was the fact that I've never really had the space or proper area to do so. And as of right now, I finally found a spot that might suit me. I'm not going to go ahead and guarantee that this is going to be a perfect spot for me to do my podcast. Sorry about the water bottle. It's actually really hot in here. I don't have an AC, and I'm going to tell you guys in a second. So the deal is I would typically do it in an apartment. However, the apartment is obviously occupied not just only by me, but other people as well, family members. I can't, kick them out, tell you guys, hey, be quiet, I'm going to do a podcast, It's like, it's kind of rude. There's nothing wrong with it, nothing wrong with telling your family, hey, I'm trying to do this. But out of respect for them, I decided to come out to a secret, discreet location. Not really discreet or secret. It's just a location that may or may not work. Mostly because I don't know if you guys can hear that. When you live in the ghetto, when you live in the streets, that's basically what you're going to be subjected to. I'm actually filming this in a garage right now. So the problem is that we're going to end up hearing some noises in the background, whether it's other people. It might be the helicopters that I heard at least 3 times while I was setting up. And I immediately thought, this is probably going to be an issue. So, yeah. Those are just the kind of things that you got to deal with when you plan and shoot things. You got to look out for what's going to be there. For anybody that's a photographer, for anybody that does video, you need to know that preparation can be a huge pain in the ass, no matter what the situation is. This could be like the easiest photo shoot you could have ever thought of, and for some reason it still turns out being one of the hardest things that you've ever done. However, we're just gonna go ahead and roll with it. We need to understand that we all start from somewhere. We don't all have the really expensive equipment. This is actually, I'm not gonna go ahead and say that this is like $10 equipment. It's not. This took years of work and research to actually have the stuff that I have right now. So what you're seeing behind me, it's gonna look really nice when I do the editing, when I fix it up. It's gonna be a nice, pretty background, but what you're actually looking at is a guy sitting in front of a green screen. Green screens are beautiful, I gotta say it. Green screens are beautiful because you could literally put anything that you want in front of it. So it blows my mind that that's basically how this whole thing is gonna go. Like, a guy's literally sitting in front of a green screen. It looks like it's taking place somewhere else, but it's actually in a whole nother thing of what you would think. So in this first episode, I'm gonna give away what my location is. No, not like location, but give away what type of area I'm actually filming in for the time being, of course. All that can change within the near future. Who knows? I'm not entirely sure yet if that's going to change anytime soon. However, we're going to be shooting it here. It's actually very, very tough because it is friggin' hot right now. So it's summertime. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's this garage or if it's in general outside, whether it's like, somewhat hot or not. But okay, that's enough of an introduction. I already said my name. Jonathan Vara. Most people call me Johnny. Where I'm working right now, everyone somehow, this is the first time it's ever happened to me. People are referring to me as John, just John, I've had that maybe like 2 other times in my whole life. I'm 23, so that's a very, very rare occasion that I would have, that kind of thing happened. So the fact that it happens here now at my new job, well, not really new, but, at my job now, currently, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. But enough of the introduction. Let's go ahead and get down to what I want to talk about today. So this podcast is basically going to range from numerous topics. Could literally be about anything. I'm basically an open mind. Like, I honestly do not have limitations as to what I want to talk about. I'm very transparent about many things, and I'm willing to go even more transparent if needed be. Because for anybody that knows me, basically, you will know that I have quite the storytelling ability, quite the ability to ramble on for I don't know how long. For anybody that's had a conversation with me, you would know that I can basically carry a story for I don't know how long. I include the most unnecessary details. I just can go on for hours. That's basically me. And when I thought about that, basically this is how I got this idea of, let's do the podcast. You got a guy who loves to talk. You got a guy with equipment, lighting, green screen, microphone, camera. Why not? So here I am right now. Basically what I want to talk about today is start off with the big question for the day for this podcast. So the question is, how did I get here? And by that I don't mean this garage. I'm talking about this position where I am right now. This position where I am as a content creator, as a soon-to-be up-and-coming photographer, an aspiring videographer. There's a lot of things that I basically want to do in life. There's a lot of aspirations that I have in terms of media. That's why when I created my supposed photography page, it actually turned to a little bit more than photography. It's going to be basically a lengthy process for me to narrow down exactly what I want to do. So in the meantime, when I'm doing little by little, as I'm trying out the different things that could help me narrow down what I want to end up doing for basically, I don't want to say the rest of my life, but for, the next decade or so. Who knows how long I actually want to be doing this kind of thing. As of right now, the question once again, how did I get here? So let me tell you guys a little bit about what I do as of right now. On the side, I do YouTube videos. Those YouTube videos are actually about... The YouTube videos was not meant to really happen. So here's the thing. I was in love with this video game that I played when I was, I believe, 7 years old. I think I was 7 when I first played it. It's an old video game, came out in 2003. I got my hands on it when I was like 6 or 7. I might have even been 5. I'm not even entirely sure. The game is called the Simpson Hit Run. Basically it's a game based off the popular show The Simpsons. Everyone pretty much, most people can identify what show that is. I was basically I never really grew up with video games, at least not video game systems, because we were very, I want to say, low income family. So of course we didn't really have the money to go out and buy a game system. Even though I've always wanted one really bad. Like, we've had those little plug and plays, those little things with the 3 cords. You plug it in, you play it, and then it turns off in like a couple weeks, and then you're just like bummed out until you get it again at the swap meet. It was that kind of thing. That's as far as it got with me and my family. And of course we did have an old computer that had some default games in it. Sorry if you're hearing noise right now. I'm gonna try to get away from slamming my elbows on the table too much. So one of the big things about the PC is that while I didn't know anything about it, all I did was play the default games that were on it. I came to learn a lot more about computers and how to mess them up, because I would always do the stupidest things ever. Like, I would try to do, I don't know what, try to connect to the internet somehow. When we did get the internet, I would download all kinds of, weird stuff that I found online. And I'm not talking about porn, relax. So basically, I would download games, I would download softwares, And what would happen is sometimes I would stumble upon those fake links. You know how sometimes you're trying to download something and they pop an ad there, and then you press the wrong thing and you download these files that just end up messing up your computer. You know, basically that's how I learned about what was dangerous about a computer, and that's how all that went. But once again, back to the Simpsons Hit Run. Sorry, see, this is the problem that I'm gonna struggle with. I seem to get sidetracked a lot. I talk about a lot of things. I range from a lot of topics. So let's stick to the Simpsons Hit Run. Why did I love the Simpsons Hit Run so much? Basically, it was the first game that really introduced me to the open world type, to the open world genre. And as a result, basically what happened is I just got struck with this whole new concept, and it just stuck in my head forever. So anytime that I faced anything that had to do with open world, Simpsons Hit Run was the first thing that came to my head. Obviously, I wasn't open to GTA because, like I said, we didn't really have a lot of consoles. We didn't have consoles when I was a lot younger. And we already know that it doesn't matter what age you are, kids from 5 and up have played GTA. But I wasn't one of those kids, you know. I really wasn't exposed to GTA. I didn't really know what it was. So the alternative was The Simpsons Hit and Run. It was the first game that really got me into the open world genre. And I don't know what it was about it. It stuck in my head. And, you know, there was just so much about it. It was like the whole cartoony thing. Obviously, it was fun. The dialogue was fun. The gameplay, although a little bit repetitive, it was very effective in like how it delivered. Like I said, I think it was the quotes and the story that basically kept it going. No matter how repetitive like the gameplay was, a little repetitive, it still felt fresh to me somehow. I'm not entirely sure why that is, but to kind of fast forward things a little bit, if I do want to talk a little bit more about the Simpsons Hit Run and why I love it so much, I'm probably going to do that in a future different type of video. But let's stick to how, like I said, how did I get here? The Simpsons Hit Run was a game that I love so much. So what I would do when I was roaming on YouTube is I would go out and I would search it up. I would search up the Simpsons Hit Run. I wanted to see what people were saying about it. One big thing that I'm about on YouTube is top 10 videos. So I wanted to see what exactly have people talked about in terms of top 10 videos with the Simpsons Hit Run. So here I am, like looking for apologize. So I was like basically looking for a video that would at least show top 10, greatest missions, top 10 greatest cars, whatever. And I mean, lo and behold, there wasn't anything. There's top 10s for everything. There's top 10s for literally the best movies, the best games, the best missions in a game, the scariest moments in games, I don't know, you name it, there might be a top 10 on it out on YouTube. Simpsons Hit Run, however, nothing. I didn't find a single thing. So during that time, before this decision came, I was basically uploading YouTube videos on a video game that I used to play that I still play to this day. I'm a big fan of the WWE games. I'm a WWE gamer. Anyone who really knows me will know that I am, diehard wrestling fan. So I would play a lot of WWE games, and I actually uploaded some content on YouTube starting with that. So basically that wasn't, while some videos were somewhat popular to some extent, like the most views I would get on a video would be like 700 views. And that was like on a really good day, or on a really good, on a good content day. That's when I would get those kinds of views. But what ended up happening is, like I said, I'm over here thinking about The Simpsons Hit Run. I was upset that not a single person has made a top 10 video on it. So I told myself, you know what? I'll do it. Nobody has stepped up to make this top 10 video for this awesome video game that I know I am not alone in when I say that it was one of my favorites as a kid growing up. Why has nobody talked about this, Why is no one posting about this game? So I said, I'll do it. So I went ahead and I have this laptop. that I'm using to record my sound right now. I had this laptop, and you guys are going to hear a helicopter right now. Yeah. So this is the downside about having to record in the garage. It's not really sound secure. So if I really do want to get in a better spot, I'm going to have to find an area where there's not a lot of crime or a lot of things going on, I guess you could say. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and just pretend that it's our special guest. Whoever the hell's flying up there, I hope you're happy. Because you already ruined what was already in a terrific podcast. All right. So once again, I basically wasn't really into the fact that there was no top 10 for the Simpsons Hit Run. So I said, I'll do it. And this laptop that I'm using right now was my first laptop that I ever bought. My first gaming laptop, first laptop that was actually meant for stuff like video editing and playing games on it. But I primarily got it because I like to mess with video editing a lot, so I primarily got it for that. So I went ahead and I did the top 10 video. The way I recorded it, I didn't have this microphone. I didn't have this camera yet, I believe. Or I did, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. So I had really but the thing is, like, camera microphones, they're not that good. The laptop microphone's horrendous, dude. Anybody try to record sound on a laptop mic, it's gonna sound like you're underwater. It's not for you. Don't do it. Never. Okay? Doesn't matter how messed up, it doesn't matter what kind of situation you're in, do not use a laptop mic. I am gonna say that right now. The best way to do it is use your phone. Use your phone. I didn't have this is a Galaxy S10. I really don't need anything higher than that as of right now. But at the time, I had the Galaxy S6. We're talking back in 2017. So the Galaxy S6 was about a year older than the newer model. But so the Galaxy S6 is basically what I used to record. I used the voice recorder app, and that's how I recorded my top 10s. And basically, that is when I decided to make the top 10 Simpsons Hit and Run video game. The video game, the first list I made was actually the top 10 hardest missions. Now, keep in mind, the views didn't come overnight. As of right now, let me tell you what actually went down. I uploaded the video in December of 2017. The views were minimum. The first time I came back to see how many views I had, maybe like 3-4 views. Nobody saw it. No, I was like, okay, that's fine. I didn't really have the intention of having it grow overnight. Let's fast forward a couple weeks. I come back and I was like, whoa, 75 views. Yeah, 75 views was actually acceptable to me. I was like, okay, that means some people are clicking. That's fine. Let's fast forward now a couple months. Now we're going into I want to say February or March. I come back and we're barely at 129 views, somewhere around there, I believe. So it only increased like 50. So we're talking 3-4 months. The video actually got up to 127 views. Still not really that impressive. So in my head, I was just like, you know what? A couple months have already passed since I've uploaded this. Let's just maybe accept that this might not be the day for this to come out. So I was like, that's fine. I'm not gonna be sad about it. We're just gonna go ahead, move on. So yeah, we just let things be the way they are. I was uploading regular content. I believe I was still uploading WWE 2K game stuff. I was still uploading stuff from there. And what happened is, I want to fast forward to, let's say, no, you know what? The WWE videos were actually getting a little bit more popular. They were getting around a couple thousand views. That is what I was impressed with. That's why the 127 views on the Simpsons video did not impress me at all. I was like, there's nothing there. My WWE videos are actually getting like 1,000 something. I did this thing where I basically customized wrestlers' entrances and I made them into, I made my own versions of them. I cut them, I spliced them, I did all this crazy shit. I apologize. I really should not be cussing at all, but whatever. It's the first episode. We'll fix that in the future. So all this crazy stuff we have going on, and basically what happened is, yeah, they actually got popular. I don't know why they got popular. They were in the thousands range. It was kind of crazy. So what happened is I was eligible to be in the YouTube partnership program. And everything was going okay. I was making like maybe a couple dollars, who actually wasn't, like I said, no biggie. It's nothing huge, nothing groundbreaking, But the problem is, what would happen is, the problem was, sorry, I don't know why I got blocked. I think it was the car that distracted me. Yeah, see, we're going to have a lot of issues like this. So what actually happened is the views were actually getting okay. And what was happening is now I'm getting, a couple bucks, like $2, nothing huge. Now, let's fast forward to, I want to say, April. The WWE videos are doing okay. Simpsons video was doing horrible. 127 views. Keep that number in mind. Now, let's fast forward to April, and all of a sudden, I don't know how this happened. No idea what happened here. I come back, I look at my views. WWE videos were basically stagnated. They didn't move. They were basically where they were. And I was just like, I don't know. Next thing you know, I looked at the Simpsons video. Lo and behold, it was at a whopping 200. I was like, since when do my videos go to 100 views overnight? Jump to 100 views overnight. It was a big surprise. I honestly did not see that coming at all. It was quite a surprise, and I was shocked to know that kind of thing was going to happen. I did not expect it at all. So I was like, okay, maybe this is just a miracle. I'm not going to get too excited yet. I don't want to go crazy about it right now, because maybe this is just a phase. Everyone has that little spike every once in a while, and then everything just plummets again. Now let's fast forward the next day. I come back, check my views. WWE videos, stagnant. Didn't move again. Simpson Hit Run, top 10 hardest missions. 500 views. What? Did you just tell me that overnight the Simpsons Hit Run top 10 video just jumped another 300 views? What is going on? What is going on? Now I'm confused. Now I'm like, okay, this is weird. Why am I getting more views on this all of a sudden? We were at 127 for nearly 4 months. Around 4 months, we were stuck at the dreaded 123 and 127 views. I don't know how many. And now within 2 days, we're at 500. We jumped 400 in total. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to complain. It's views. And I'm actually getting a little, couple more dollars in there. That's fine. And now let's fast forward a couple days. I come back. 1,000 something views. What is going on? 1,000 views on my Simpsons Hit Run video? What? This is crazy. I don't know where this is going, but I like it. So let's just keep waiting. Let's see what happens. I'm over here continuing. Like I said, my WWE content was starting to rise a little bit more. It's starting to look better. Come back and I look at my Simpsons content. Simpsons Hit Run top 10 video. Now we're looking at 7,000 views. What? What? So it's crazy. Like, I didn't expect it. It hit at the randomest of time, the most random of times possible. I uploaded this video in December. I come back in late April. I think it was late April. It was late April, and this video just skyrocketed out of nowhere. So I'm guessing the YouTube algorithm, if you guys don't know what that is, that's basically the machinery, the mechanisms of how you're shown what to look at, what you're recommended, all that stuff. That's the YouTube algorithm. Somehow it just started reaching out to people. I guess I don't know if people were sharing it. I don't know if people were searching it up, but all of a sudden this video was just skyrocketing. It eventually hit over 15,000 views, 10,000 or 15,000 views. It jumped tremendously. It was looking great. The views were just amazing. My YouTube ad revenue actually increased quite a bit. My WWE videos, something happened. I uploaded something. One of those, the whole entrance things that I was talking about. If you guys don't know what entrances are, WWE entrances is basically how the superstars come out. They do their little poses and then their music's playing in the background. That's basically the entrance. What I did is, I did my own custom stuff. I added like these cool fireworks, cool lighting effects, and all these like random stuff, and they got popular. Now my channel's starting to skyrocket a little bit, and my revenue was starting to go up as well. Now it's starting to look great. Now I'm excited. I'm like, holy crap, this is looking great. My revenue's going up. Everything looks great. Let's see where this is going. Now let's fast forward a little bit further. So if you guys didn't know, YouTube changed their partnership policies around that time. I believe it was 2017, because I do remember that while I was making money, they eventually decided to change their whole policy on how that worked, on when you would be able to start making money off of YouTube. So this is what happened. My videos were skyrocketing. My ad revenue was going up. My subscribers jumped from 100 up to like, I want to say 600, maybe 500, 600, something like that. I was excited. I'm excited that people are watching my videos. They're liking it. They're commenting. They're talking about it. And next thing you know, YouTube changed their policy. And as a result, basically they changed the rules to you needed to have at least 1,000 subscribers to make money off of YouTube. And obviously I didn't have the 1,000 subscribers. I was down at 500. Sorry, not 100. I was down at 500. And there it was, I started losing all the profits that were made off of the videos. Simpson Hit Run continued to take off. It went up to 72,000 views. Remember what number I told you before? 15,000, around 15,000. It skyrocketed 60,000 views. And I lost all that revenue because YouTube changed their partnership program policy. Now, I'm not going to blame YouTube for that. I'm not going to be like, hey, it's your guys' fault I lost my money. No, it was just bad timing. It was bad timing, and it was totally against me at the time. So, and my WWE videos, the videos were averaging 32,000 views, 20,000 views, something like that. They were on the 10,000s. The Simpsons Hit Run skyrocketed past all my WWE videos to 72,000 views. And I didn't earn revenue for a majority of those views. The 72,000 views, forget about it. I didn't get any of the revenue, and it was very upsetting. It was tough. I really had to suck it up and be like, you know what? These kind of things happen. Timing isn't always on your side. So I couldn't really complain. I couldn't get mad at YouTube. I couldn't call them up and be like, hey, the heck? I couldn't really do anything. So of course, I was not really able to gain the revenue that I felt that I deserved because YouTube decided to change their partnership policy. So that was very tough. This is all taking place in 2017, 4 years ago. We're running back 4 years ago. Now let's go forward to basically what my reaction was to that. Like I told you, I was pretty devastated. It sucked that I could have earned all that revenue. The views were up there. The popularity was gaining. And my subscribers were skyrocketing, basically. Everything was skyrocketing. Everything was looking great. My channel was looking great. We got so much attention. I would have never imagined it. I just cannot say that I've imagined it. So I said, you know what? Let's keep moving on. Let's see what else, what's going to happen next. Let me just keep working on my channel. I'm not going to stop now just because I'm not making money off of it. That wasn't really the intention in the first place. I was just kind of having fun with it. And so obviously I wasn't going to let revenue, tell me that I can't run my channel anymore. So here came like basically the comments in the Simpsons Hit Run. I'm having people comment talking about, hey, I love this video. Thank you for doing this video. I appreciate it. The video was good. They talked about what they thought of the video, obviously. Now, if you guys look at that video, the first top 10 I ever did, audio was horrendous. My dialogue was horrendous because I was going unscripted. It's not like a podcast where you can just, say whatever you want and you can ramble on as much as you want. In this case, we're talking about a top 10 video. You got to be straight to the point. You got to be descriptive, but you can't, drag things on for so long. It's a top 10 video. You don't want to go crazy with it. The problem is I did just that. I dragged everything on. I was going unscripted. I was doing this, stuttering. I was doing that a lot. And when I look back at it now, it's very cringy. It's very cringy to look at, but that's how you learn, Your first video was not meant to be, your first top 10 video was really not meant to be popular. This one, in this case, was not meant to be popular. I never imagined it to go that far. I was just lost. I was like, how the heck did it get so popular? We're almost at 100,000 views, and yeah, I basically got screwed over. But, so let's fast forward to all the people talking about how they wanted to see more. They wanted me to keep going. And they wanted me to just continue. They were giving me suggestions for what top 10 video to do next based on the Simpsons Hit Run. So there I was. I continued to make top 10 videos. Top 10, top 10 races that were the most difficult. Top 10 cars. Top 10 easiest missions. I did a number of stuff. I did a number of lists, and people just kept asking for more, and I didn't really expect that. So what happened is I slowly steered away from my WWE content, and it just became one of the it became a staple of my channel, The Average Johnny. The Average Johnny is what my channel is. That's the name of my channel, and that's basically what it became centered around, was the Simpson Hit Run. And I honestly could not have been more happy with it. Like I told you guys, I basically was not expecting that game to basically become the centerpiece of my channel. But if there was any game that I wanted my channel to be based around, I couldn't have had a better choice than the Simpsons Hit Run. Oh, great. I totally forgot about vibrations. Yeah, you see, these are the things you're going to have to learn about when you're when you're doing podcasts. You're going to learn about what makes sounds, what makes inappropriate sounds, and you're going to have to learn how to get through it. So in this case, my phone just went off. So there it was. I could have not have gotten a better choice than the Simpsons Hit Run to basically center my channel around. I was very happy with it. Like I said, it's a childhood game of mine. It's basically the game that opened my eyes to the open world genre. I could not have been more happier with the choice that I ended up with. That's just the way it turned out, and I'm not mad about it. I don't regret it, and I'm happy for all the people that are supporting me on it now. Now let's fast forward to when I finally got my 1,000 subscribers. 2018. Around, I want to say, June. So, as crazy as it might sound, it didn't take me that long to reach my 1,000 subscribers. It took me one more month to reach the 1,000 subscribers. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not entirely sure what subscriber count I was at when I basically got demonetized. I think I was at, I don't think it was 600. I'm starting to think it was higher, because maybe like a month later is when they finally monetized me again. I want to say, yeah, it was pretty close to when I got monetized again. In May, I got monetized. I got to 1,000 subscribers. Then I made a thank you video telling people, thank you for supporting me. Thank you for commenting, for subscribing, liking, just all that stuff. I was happy. I was speechless. Well, not really speechless, because I made a huge 10-minute video just talking about how grateful I was. But so there was that. I got the 1,000 subscribers a month later, but I still missed out on all that revenue. Think about it. The tens of thousands of views happened in a few days. So if it could have just waited, if YouTube could have just waited a couple more weeks to change their damn policy, I could have had a lot more revenue at that time. But that's the way it happened. I can't change the past. So I got the 1,000 subscribers. I got the basically all the minimum requirements that were required of me to get part of the partnership program again. And let's fast forward to I want to say 2019. Now I'm starting to do live streams. No, 2018. I want to say in the fall or the winter, I started doing live streams, playing the Simpsons Hit Run, playing other games, but mostly Simpsons Hit Run. We're going to continue doing this basically for another year, hopping into 2019, same thing. Basically Simpsons Hit Run is the center of my channel as of right now, and I don't regret it at all. I'm happy for it. I'm happy that is basically what I'm going to be known for, is the Simpsons Hit Run. I couldn't be happier with that, because it's a game that's close to me. It's a game that introduced me to another genre, a game that I basically grew up with. I've replayed it so many times. Like, I really did. So I totally have no regrets about Simpsons Hit Run being a big part of my channel. No regrets. To this day, me along with a whole bunch of other people are waiting for the remaster or the remake or a sequel. Doesn't matter. One or the other. Just pick one. Please. Whoever the hell's running it. Please. One of them. But it's starting to look unlikely. So let's reiterate the question again. How did I get here? In 2017, while this gaming channel is running. And let me just tell you where the gaming channel's at right now. Simpson Hit Run channel, basically. It's at 6,000 subscribers. 6,000 subscribers. If I go up to anybody and tell them that, they're impressed. They're very impressed. And, I'm not going to tell them, no, you can't be impressed. It's horrible. It's not nothing really to be excited about. I really cannot tell them that. I totally understand it. A lot of people struggle to even get to, 50 subscribers, let alone 100. They see that as a huge milestone. I saw 1,000 as a huge milestone. Now seeing 6,000 views I don't want to say it barely affected me, but I knew that it wasn't really the next step yet. Honestly, the next step for me right now is when I get to 10,000 subscribers. But that doesn't mean I'm not happy with what I have right now. And I couldn't be more grateful with some of the great people that talk to me that are from my subscribers. There's some really nice people in there. There's some, loving, caring people that direct message me on Instagram. I had some add me on Facebook, and of course, commenters on YouTube itself. People have been kind. They've been kind. They've been loving. They've been caring, and I cannot show my gratitude enough for that. There's some really nice people out there, and I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful that they're a part of my community. The community that I started in those top 10s and those live streams. I'm happy that they're all part of it. I don't regret it at all. And I hope that they continue to support me. If one day I do become bigger, I'm not going to forget them. I won't. They're the ones who've basically been there for me from the very beginning. And it would be a crime if I abandoned them. So that's kind of, a little sentimental moment that I'm getting there. I really do appreciate all the supporters that I've had, and whether it's my friends and my subscribers. My subscribers are basically my family. They're my big Simpson Hit Run family. I could not say anything less about them. So shout out to them. Shout out to all my subscribers on YouTube. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys. And of course, I love all my friends and my family who have been very supportive of what I do. Thank you so much. Very encouraging, very loving, very supportive. I cannot be happier with that. So that's the channel right now. The Simpsons Hit Run. The Average Johnny. That's where it's at right now. 6,000 subscribers and growing. Now let's talk about all this stuff. Photography stuff. Videography and video editing is basically something that I've always wanted to do since I was a kid. Since I was a child. I want to say I was 7 years old when I basically touched. I'm going to summarize this right now because I kind of want to talk about this for another podcast. But I was 7 years old when I first touched the video editing software, Windows Movie Maker. Obviously not impressive at all. Windows Movie Maker was the first thing I touched when I was like 7 years old on one of our old PCs. And I started off by editing just a simple, sample images that you used to get with the PCs. You used to get little sample images. I would edit those and I thought it was the coolest thing ever when I made a transition. You make that little diamond cheap transition, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Fast forward to today, I love video editing. I'm trying to learn more and more about it, and now I'm learning that I like working with color a lot. I recently downloaded a program called DaVinci Resolve. It's basically focused on color grading and messing with colors around, and it's supposed to be like really advanced, almost industry, if not industry standard. I know it's been used on a number of actual Hollywood films. So it's a crazy program because it's free. The base program is free. There's a studio version that includes a couple more, perks and stuff, but the base version is already insane for what it is. It's free and it comes with all this insane technology. I cannot say how crazy it is, like honestly, but I've always wanted to be a video editor. I've always loved video. As you guys can see, I'm doing this right now. Ever since, I want to say 2017 is when I first got this camera that I'm using right now. It's the Canon T6i, Canon 750D. It goes by those two names. Ever since, I've been using stuff like, I didn't have a tripod to really play with at the time, so I had to set it on top of chairs and books and all this other stuff just to get it to stand at a proper angle so I can shoot myself. shoot myself with the camera. So these lights that you see right now, the reason why I look decent right now is because of the two lights that I have. I got these, I want to say, a year ago. I started off with small lights. A tiny little one. It kind of shined your face, but really not that much, so it really wasn't that useful. It wasn't bright. I started doing a lot of research. It took me years and years of research to find the stuff that I have now. The tripod that I have right now, it's a good one. It's sturdy. It's decent. I love it. It has a great design. The lights that I have, took me research to find out what they do before I bought them. The green screen, it's actually not that big. It's 5 feet by 7. It's not that big. Otherwise, I wouldn't be so focused on trying to find a good spot for me to shoot this thing in. And over time, I've gotten so much equipment. From 2017 up until today, I bought a PC, brand new PC in 2019. I got these lights last year, 2020. This green screen, I got it about 2 weeks ago. A week ago, maybe, I think. I think it was a week ago. I'm not entirely sure. This microphone that I'm using right now, I got this back in April. Guys, I cannot reiterate how much time it took me to be able to invest in getting this stuff. A lot of the things that I have right now is stuff that I had to eyeball for at least a year before I got my hold of it. A camera was something that I've wanted for such a long time. And when I finally got it, I cannot express the happiness that I had on my face. The happiness, the pure joy that I get every time I get a new piece of technology, whether it's my microphone, my lights, my green screen, my tripod, my Canon camera. It's insane. I'm over here waiting for Amazon to deliver my stuff, or UPS, whoever it is. I'm waiting for all of them to just deliver my stuff just so I can get my hands on it. It's really insane that I'm really in this position now. 2017, me and my older brother shot our first wedding. Shout out to him, by the way. Navarro Palacios Producciones. NP Producciones. I think that's how he names it. I don't even know why I forgot it right now. Shout out to him, by the way. Basically, me and him, we basically were working on doing this kind of stuff since forever. We both loved shooting stuff on cameras. We both loved this kind of thing. But we kind of have our own little style. Me, I'm more focused on the film look, the cinematic stuff. Everything looking pretty, like I'm all about that. The design, I'm all about that. Him, I want to say my brother is more on the creative, outgoing side, like for me personally, I'm a little bit more narrowed down. He's a little bit more out there. So we have very distinct styles. We're not exactly the same person, but we do have kind of the same hobby, but in different ways. So basically, 2017, we shot. 2016, we did a 16. In 2016, we did a 16. Basically a quinceañera, but the girl was turning 16, so it was a sweet 16, I guess you could say. But Hispanic girls, they do quinceañeras. They're more famous for that, but it was a 16. So we shot that on video. We edited it. It took a lot of time. He basically did all the crazy editing stuff, and I just added the pretty colors, which is crazy. That's basically me. Like, I love the coloring, the styling, the design look. I'm all about the look, the look, the look of things, the design. That's basically where I was more based on. He was more like on like I said, more on the creative side, like creative of what's in front of the camera and how you present it. So we did that in 2016. 2017, we shot our first wedding for a family member of ours. We shot our first wedding. It was really, really tough because we did photo and video. And going into it, we would have never guessed that it would be such a difficult task to do. You probably want to focus on one thing. You probably want to focus on either photography, video. You try to do both, or you're going to make a lot of mistakes. You're going to mess up, and it might not be pretty on some occasions, depending on what the situation is. But we did it anyways. We did the wedding. We did the Sweet 16, and my brother basically moved out. So of course we weren't going to be doing any more projects. So of course we did do other stuff leading up to 2016. We did do some other side things that I really can't explain because maybe you guys wouldn't understand. But they were basically like side projects. We were doing like freelance stuff. We weren't really making money off of it, though. I will say that. Everything else was like, we were offering our services. We were giving it our best shot. Fast forward to 4 years later, basically all the stuff that I have right now is stuff that I didn't have at that time. I didn't have these lights. I don't have it right now with me in this garage, but I have microphones. Not a microphones, but an audio recorder. that can hook up a microphone and can capture like amazing sound. I didn't have that 2017. I didn't have stuff like this. This is an RGB light. This is a Vizzy. I think that's how you say it. This thing is insane. Basically, it gives off all these crazy lights. I don't know why I'm shining it at the green screen. I shouldn't be doing that. So yeah, let's see. So let me just show you what this thing is all about. Basically, it shines different colors. I don't know why I'm showing this off to you guys right now, but it shines different colors. It does all these crazy stuff. So it's on blue. Can change to green. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's probably going to hide in the thing. But yeah, it changes colors. I have all this crazy gear. All the things that I have right now, I didn't have in 2017. So who knows what I could have done with it had I had the proper equipment. You know, my tripod wasn't the best. I had the camera, but that was basically it. I was working with just the camera. We were barely learning to carry a spare battery with us, let alone have stuff like microphones and lights and all that crazy stuff, and learn about proper angles and what to shoot and shutter speeds and ISOs. Fast forward to 2018, I'm practicing with my camera every day. I'm doing my research on YouTube. I'm looking up all these videos, looking up inspiration, looking up. I took a class on basically shooting short films. And trust me, going in, I thought I was with it. I thought I was, gonna be this cool kid who knew how to shoot things. I have never been more humbled in my life. I got a rude awakening, and I realized that I was the biggest amateur on the planet. And I got struck with reality. But that's basically what it took for me to understand that I'm a human being. I'm capable of learning. And that I need to learn. I need to take the time to learn how these things work. I need to learn how lighting works. I need to learn how sound works. I need to know how difficult the process is to shoot something on a camera, to make everything look good, to make people sound good, to have the proper presentation. It was one of the biggest awakenings I've ever had. I was humbled, and I cannot believe how humiliated I felt in some cases. Maybe I can go into detail into that one day. You see, I have all these podcast ideas now. This podcast is perfect. I have a lot of stories to tell. I really do. But, that's basically what it took. An awakening. And ever since, I've been doing my research. I've been looking at equipment. I watched a ton of videos. And now I'm getting the knowledge that I know today. Fast forward, 2018. That's when I got the rude awakening. 2019. I started applying things. I started looking up what kind of equipment I can use. I started eyeballing equipment. 2019 is when I first bought my PC. So yes, the average Johnny, the channel was running. My YouTube channel was running great. But my actual dream, my actual aspirations were barely molding into something. I was barely learning about things. 2019 is when I got my first PC that I've ever bought. It was an amazing feeling. I was happy. Like I said, every time I bring home a new piece of technology, it's going to take a whole lot to kill my mood. I'll tell you that much. Fast forward to 2020 is when I started racking up my my equipment. I think when I first really got, so I got these lights 2020. I got tripods, had my camera, I got my microphones, the audio recorders, microphones, and gels. So gels basically are these little color filters that you put on the lights, and basically it will do what this thing does, shoot different colors. But that's, if you don't have something like this. And I didn't really, the thing is, I have all this equipment, and I didn't really have anything to do with it. I wasn't really sure. I didn't know how to put myself out there. I didn't know how to talk to people and be like, hey, you want me to, do a photo shoot for you? So what I did is, back in 2020, right before the pandemic happened, I put myself out there and I was like, hey, I'm offering, free photo shoots to get myself jump started. I have all this equipment and I need something to do with it. I got one particular response that would eventually lead me to working on a couple photo shoots. Uh, and I'm pretty grateful for that. They were actually pretty essential in me being able to kickstart what could have been a much better photography career. But the problem is, a week later, the pandemic happened, and that was basically put to a halt. Uh, but yeah, that's the way things go. It's all about timing, right? Everything was going great, and the pandemic happens. I was finally skyrocketing my views on the Simpson Hit Run. 10,000 views to 72,000, and YouTube changed their policy, so I couldn't make money off of it. I don't think I'm meant to make money off of anything. Honestly, it's crazy how it's crazy how timing shows that it's against me. I don't know if it is, but it feels that way. Certainly does feel that way. But of course, I'm not going to complain about it. These things happen for a reason. It all happens for a reason, and I'm not going to make any excuses. Today, I have all this equipment. I have the knowledge, and I have just a little bit more courage than I did 4 years ago. And I feel a lot better. That's why I'm able to do this podcast where I pretty much ended up talking for nearly an hour. I apologize that it was so long, but it is a podcast. You can keep it as long as you want. That's what happens when you're me. You're able to talk for such a long amount of time. And this is what we got. But there we go, man. That's it. This is how we got here. I have all this. I got everything that I need to be successful. Now it's a matter of what do I do with the equipment. This is just to prove to you. Equipment doesn't mean anything. I have all this equipment, but I'm not famous. I'm not big. I'm not having all these people contact me wanting me to be their photographer. It's all about how you present yourself and how you put yourself out there. And that's basically what I'm aiming at. But everything in due time, no rush for anything. There's no need to rush. There's no need to feel pressure. Let everything fall into place. With that being said, I appreciate you guys. If you actually sat through the entire thing, you definitely deserve an award of some kind. I'm just happy that I finally have something to put, my voice out with. I have this podcast. I have something amazing to work with. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to be here and listening to everything that I have to say. I know it's a lot. I know I don't know if my future podcasts are going to be this long, but there you go. This one just happened to be probably an hour long. But here we go. The journey starts. The podcast journey has begun, and we have a lot of topics to cover. A lot of topics. They could basically range from anything, and who knows, I might even bring in a couple special guests to help me get through this. But I appreciate you guys so much for being here. I could not express my gratitude for the support of my friends, family, and anybody who basically expresses any kind of support. I appreciate it with all this. So, yeah.